So Aroldis Chapman apparently crapped himself in yesterday's game. But to be fair, Gary Sanchez did put down 2 fingers. How's it going, everybody? So the Yankees are probably going to make the postseason. After winning against the Orioles yesterday, they've created enough separation between themselves and Baltimore where I don't think Baltimore's coming back. I really don't. The Yankees should be able to put them away today. And then the Yankees have Toronto coming in on Tuesday, off day tomorrow. I'll be doing a podcast. And then on Tuesday, it's Toronto, followed by Boston, I believe. And then they have Miami. I believe they close out the season with the Marlins. So the Yankees are in pretty good shape going down the stretch to get into the postseason. Now, you love to be the number 1 seed, but this year I don't really think it matters all that much. I don't want to be the number 8 seed because I don't think the Yankees and the Rays in a 3-game series, given the way the Yankees have played against the Rays this year, is a great matchup. I'd rather see an extended, 7-game series. But with the postseason moving to neutral sites, the postseason for the American League will be in LA and in San Diego. So with games happening on the West Coast, nobody's really going to have a humongous advantage. So the Yankees just want to be healthy and have their pitching lined up. I feel like the offense is going to be healthier. We're getting Judge, we're getting Stanton. As long as those guys can stay healthy for just a few weeks, that's all we need. Just a few weeks. Keep it together. Those guys stay healthy, and you got LeMahieu hitting. You've got Voit having a great year, career year. You've got Andujar showing signs of life. Even Gary Sanchez has hit some balls hard. So if you can get everybody clicking going into the postseason, how great would it be if Gary Sanchez gets hot and carries the Yankees in the postseason? That would be amazing. But if you get everybody healthy going into the postseason, your offense should be fine. So today I want to talk about the pitching. And obviously Garrett Cole is your number 1 starter. The Yankees pitching has been pretty good this year, at least out of the rotation. The bullpen has not been terrific, but we've had at least one solid trip through the rotation over the last week. And Garrett Cole was fantastic on Friday. He pitched a 7-inning shutout. He is now 5-3 with a 3.20 ERA. He's got 79 strikeouts. He's got 15 walks. He's given up 13 home runs. But Garrett Cole has been pretty much as advertised. He's made 10 starts. So if you basically factor this season, this start out times 3, he's basically having a 15-9 season with about 240 strikeouts minus 3, so 237 strikeouts. I mean, that's a really good year. It's not as good as he had last year, but still, that's a very good year. So I am not worried about Garrett Cole in Game 1. I think the Yankees may shuffle their rotation in the final week or so to try and make sure that Garrett Cole is going to line up to pitch Game 1 on regular rest. So that won't surprise me if that happens. The question then is, who do you go to for your number 2? And I think you have to go with Masahiro Tanaka. I know some people want Deivi Garcia in that number 2 spot. I think we may be jumping the gun a little bit on that. Masahiro Tanaka is a fantastic postseason pitcher. And he really pitches better in the postseason than he does during the regular season. His ERA in the postseason for his career is under 2. And this year he's having a very nice year. Through 8 starts, he's got a 3.16 ERA, 37 innings, 34 strikeouts, 5 walks. He's 2-2. He's looked really good the last few times out. And Masahiro Tanaka has that clutch gene, and he's pitching for a contract. So he's going to have that extra motivation to do well because he's a free agent. If you do really well in the postseason again in your free agent year after having a pretty good, 1/3 of a year basically, healthy, composed, he's still just 31 years old. He's going to be entering his age 32 season. It's not out of the question for Masahiro Tanaka to get a 5-year, $100+ million contract if he does really well down the stretch. On the other hand, if he gets bombed in the postseason, if he gets bombed down the stretch, he could be looking at a 2-year deal. Or maybe a 1-year deal because he's had that past elbow problem history. So I think Masahiro Tanaka is motivated to pitch well, and I think Garrett Cole and Masahiro Tanaka in a postseason series is about as good as a 1-2 punch as you can have. Especially Garrett Cole as the number one. I mean, we saw what he did last year with the Astros. He didn't pitch as well during the World Series, but he really carried them in the postseason for a while. Jordan Montgomery, is he your number 3 starter, or is Deivi Garcia your number 3 starter? I'm going with Deivi Garcia. I just think the kid is, what's the word? He's unflappable. You know, he's got that certain, it's a je ne sais quoi. It's a confidence. As I've used this reference a few times, he's the Moneyball guy. He walks into a room and his dick has already been there for 2 minutes. He's got that swagger, and he's a pretty good pitcher. He's actually got the lowest ERA on the Yankees staff. Well, for starting pitchers anyway. He's thrown 17 2/3 innings, so not a huge sample size. 18 strikeouts, 2 walks, just 2 home runs allowed. I like that he keeps the ball in the park. If we are facing the Rays in the first round, they have not seen him yet. And they're not going to see him between now and the postseason, but they've seen Jordan Montgomery. So, you know, that third game is pivotal, but having somebody like Deivi Garcia who's unflappable, look, I just want to see how it plays out. As a fan, I just think that would be very interesting. And so if I was managing the Yankees, I'm going to the 21-year-old right-hander in Game 3, Deivi Garcia. And then should you need a Game 4 starter, generally I would go with Garrett Cole on short rest, at least in the first round. If there is a best of 3, you obviously won't need a 4th starter, but if it's a best of 5, you probably will need a Game 4 starter. I'm running Garrett Cole back out there, but if for some reason the scheduling works out that he's on 2 days rest at that point, or that he's just not ready for a Game 4, then you go with Jordan Montgomery, because he's been pretty good this year too. His ERA is 4.76, but he's had a few guys that have scored on inherited runners when relief pitchers come in the game. He's also had a couple of times where he's pitched really well for like 5 innings, and then in the 6th inning he's given up a 3-run home run or something like that. So Jordan Montgomery is just 27 years old. He had his best start of the year yesterday, 9 strikeouts. Just a really nice job for Jordan Montgomery. I really feel good about him going into the postseason as well. He's rested. He's just hitting his stride. He's only made 8 starts, 34 innings. He's only walked 7 guys, so his control is really good, which is something you need in the postseason. You need that guy who can hit his spots, who's not going to put on runners that shouldn't be on, and give your team a chance. So my postseason rotation is Cole, Tanaka, Garcia, and then, if needed, Montgomery. But J. Happ, he's starting today. He's actually been one of the Yankees' more reliable starters. He's made 6 starts. He's thrown 31 1/3 innings. And despite the ERA of 4.31, he's actually pitched much better over his last couple of outings. Let me just pull up his numbers here. Over his last 2 outings this season, and it might actually go back even further. Yeah, over his last 4 outings. August 16th against Boston, 5 2/3, 3 hits, 1 run, 1 earned, 2 walks, 3 strikeouts. That lowered his ERA from 10.29 to 6.39. Then he comes out against the Mets, and he pitches into the 8th inning, allowing no earned runs, 7 1/3 innings, 3 hits, 5 strikeouts, 4.05 ERA after that game, so it's dropping precipitously. The next time he goes 5 innings, gives up 4 runs. I feel like there was like some inherited runners that scored maybe in that game. I don't recall. But he did allow 8 hits, so maybe not. He did give up 1 home run, so that raises his ERA back up to 4.68. And then last time out against Toronto, obviously 6 1/3 innings, 10 strikeouts, 2 runs, 2 walks, and he gets probably 2 or 3 more starts this season to kind of tune up. So J. Happ is a guy who has been pitching very well. If you can keep him in line to pitch in Game 3, basically. You kind of work it out so that way if Deivi Garcia doesn't have it, you can go early to J. Happ, and he can give you length out of that bullpen. Let's say Deivi Garcia comes out and he gives up 4 runs in the first 2 innings of a postseason Game 3. Well, let's say the Yankees still have a fighting chance with their entire offense back. You would think that 4 runs isn't too much to make up. What you want to do is you want to hold whatever team they're playing right there. Keep your team in the game through about the 5th or 6th inning before you can go to that bullpen, because the bullpen is not as deep as it was in the past. So you either go to somebody like a Jonathan Loaizaga, which, who knows what he's going to be after this illness. We don't know what the illness was, but presumably he should be back into form, but he's got to get there first. So you could go to Loaizaga, or you could go to J-Happ. If it's a lineup that has a lot of lefties, J-Happ is a guy who works well against lefties. He's got a good breaking ball. He can come in on lefties with a 2-seamer. So you can put him in to get you through the middle portion of the game. So I don't think J-Happ makes the postseason rotation, but I think he will be on the postseason roster. So there you have it. That is my rotation. What do you guys think? Be interested to hear in the comments. Tune in for the post-game show today, highlights and reaction. Hello to all my new subscribers that joined after the Chapman crapping in his pants video. It's got like 35,000 views or something at this point. So how's it going? I will see you guys next time. Hey guys, help support the podcast by buying swag from my store. Link is in the description.
If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. It helps YouTube suggest this channel to other Yankees fans.